So how far are you pushing your stand-up right now, man? What are you looking at?
It's really fun. I'm glad that we're talking about. I made it. I had a buddy who actually was like, bro, and it's actually due to come up in 2 weeks to just enroll in. I think it's Raw Comedy, or it's one of the comedy festival for next year.
Raw's coming up. Yeah.
So
you got all the heats and the trials.
if I actually sign up, then I'm like, shit. Okay, let's write something.
Yeah. Raw is tough. I know someone that got through to all the heats of that.
I did Raw back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, when I started out.
Okay.
So first time I did my stand-up, it was at the local, crushed it. Everyone's like, bro, you're a little too good for someone doing his first gig.
Yeah.
Second, I was like, cool, I'm going to reinvent it. I was at the comedy club or comedy lounge.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I was like, I did all this different material. And people go, right.
Yeah.
And then I'm standing there, and the barman goes, you know, Dave Hughes was booed off stage the first time he went up? And I was like, why is he telling me that? And I was like, oh, because you bombed, because you sucked. And, you know,
suck. And then that big
hook,
it's
such
the
a
hook comes out from the curtain.
Such a tough industry.
Yeah.
And then
comedy, dude,3 comedy is, I think, harder than in all the elements of this shit. If you're in a band and you suck, you got like 3 other dudes with you. You know what I mean? You can get away with it. You bluff it for a 30-minute set, and then you walk away like big fuck. Yeah, they might boo you, and then that's the end of it. But comedy, because it's just you. You know, and if it's not a caricature, if it's not like an over-the-top impression or, you know, persona, if it's just you, then people take it as you.
Oh, man, I love it. It's like free counselling.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to listen to me. Hold on to your hat.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say some weird shit.
Yeah.
And it's going to be real and educational, and at the same time make you go, what did he say?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the third time was Raw Comedy, and I did it, and I had these 2 junkies, I guess, in the front seat, and they came up and they were like, man, that was so good. And I was like, you could see where I was going with that. And there was a professional comedian who'd actually done something, who was around there, and he goes, and I overheard him. He didn't realise I'd walked out to the front entrance door. I think I was trying to run away. And he goes, what was that? I have no idea what that was. Like, I went next level. I was like, I was walking down the street, and then I saw this dog, and I jumped on its back, and I started riding like the wind. And then I'm like, turn into this baby turns into this Hulk thing because it got angry and it's picking up trams and anyway,
wow.
Yeah, the people that were high were like, bro, you took us somewhere. But yeah, it didn't work. So bombed a lot, and wow, it really messes with your psyche.
Yeah, it does.
But now I just breathe. We'll go and have sit in the cold ocean for.
So what are you going to do?
Minutes.
What's your stand-up thing? What do you actually see yourself doing? Observational shit, or
I think it's
just telling stories.
I think it might be. I think because I've got a buddy who does comedy. He's like, mate, just tell your stories about shit that happened. Yeah, tell people about that orgy. Tell people about that one time that this thing happened or that thing happened. And but I sort of like the idea of. I was calling it like Rat in a Cage was one.
Rat in a Cage?
Yeah, like a rat in a cage. I don't know why. That was the working title. Another time it was From Africa, Young, Dumb, and Full of Cum.
Okay.
And now I'm more along the lines of life education. And talking about relationships and between boys and girls and what you're told about life and the realities of life, and just sort of point out some of that stuff. I don't know. Maybe it'll help someone.
I've always said that they need to do more pre-education about the real world.
Big time. We're so lied to. Christmas, Easter. Oh, look at you. You're so amazing. Oh, yes, you are. Everyone loves you so much. And then you grow up. People don't even look at you.
No, they don't give a fuck.
And it's like, whoa, we got way too much attention as babies.
Yeah.
We need to start stepping back from that.
But you're literally pandered to your 17, 18, 19, especially if you're an immigrant kid, you're pandered to your 35.
Yeah, you guys have got
you know what I mean?
Sweet, man.
People looked at me and said, why are you living by yourself?
Yeah.
You're not married.
You're not supposed to move home, leave out at 32.
Literally. Dude, literally. They just look at you like you're a freak. It's like, dude, because I wanted independence.
Yeah.
I want to do my own thing.
Right.
I think, as far as pre-education, I think... we've said it before. You got to go to high school and start telling people how to get home loan, how to deal with getting a job.
Unbelievable. Life education. I actually approached Life Be In It at one stage and said, like, a potential board game.
Yeah,
that's like life education, like how to get a root. And I'm fucking legit with that. A girl or a guy. How do I pick up someone?
As in courting.
And courting, totally.
You can't teach charisma though, dude.
Yeah, you can't, but you can certainly practice. walking up to someone saying, "Hi, my name's."
That's just manners.
Sure, but it's still practice.
Yeah.
And it's actually like
They should teach manners in school.
They should definitely teach manners in school.
I'm just trying to remember, like, going back, you know. I mean, we're students of the day when we didn't have iPads and laptops in every classroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when I finished... Now, dude, kids in primary school have got tablets.
Yeah.
They don't have exercise books.
Crazy, hey? It's crazy.
Yeah. And when I left primary school, we just started getting computers in, like those iMacs, you know?
Yeah, wow.
So we're not that far apart. So I'm just thinking, did they actually teach us courting and, like, you know, just...
Well, it's back to that thing I was saying earlier, actions. It's what I love about all our rules in society. They were made up a long time ago, and people are like, don't chew with your mouth open. Boy, stop it! I fucking told you time and time fucking... If you do that, I'm going to send you the... It's like... You know, it's like, instead, boys, can you just come over here for a second? So what are you doing there? Okay. And do you think there's anything wrong? Yeah, we shouldn't, miss. Yeah, you shouldn't. And so what would you do if I was you? Probably send us to the... Okay, is that what I should do? Well, no. Well, so why wouldn't I? Well, I don't know. I guess it's just because of... Oh, okay. Well, how about this? Could we find a place where you can play and it'll be... Yeah, okay, how about we do it then so you don't do it? Cool. Like, that's... You know, that's business. That's manners. That's... You know, all my friends that I have now, they have manners. And I didn't realise how many people in my life... didn't have manners.
Dude, my thing comes down to manners and respect.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You can disagree with me, we can come from different walk of life.
So many people can talk it, though, but then when you actually see them in the heat of the moment, so to speak...
Dude, you can pull them up on anything.
It's just like going, whoa, man, you walk the walk.
Yeah,
but
100%.
But yeah, I'm not seeing it necessarily. So
how do you not have like a brood of adopted kids around you? Seriously,
me.
I need to see like a brood of like mixed race kids, just all like in your apartment. You know what I mean? You've got the hemp cloak. You know what I mean? Here's a kid from Zimbabwe. Here's a kid from Siberia.
You know what? It's surprised me because I've been coaching. You know, for the last this business has been sort of a year and a half, hitting the 2-year mark of just doing one-on-ones.
Yeah,
because I was like, you know, group classes, everyone's missing out, and so I was like, if I can come up with something that works for everyone, and that was the plan. And about 5 years in of doing this, I was like, yeah, it's not going to work. Everyone's too different.
Oldest student. How old's your oldest student?
Oh, oldest I've had is 73.
Really?
75.
What were they looking to do? As in...
Become an actor.
Just straight from the ground up? Or...
Oh, yeah, I hadn't done anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the fastest person we've ever got a show reel together in 4 weeks.
A show reel?
Show reel. Got him a show reel in 4 weeks. He had an agent in probably 8 weeks.
How?
And he had his first TVC audition. And oh, mate, it's just how I roll. We get the job done.
That's a crazy turnaround, dude.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
I've got a full-time course that I'm organising, and we're going to do it in 14 weeks, and we do 100 hours.
100 hours in 14 weeks. Okay, yeah. I can see that. Youngest student.
But here's the difference, though. These guys are going to have like all this footage.
Yeah.
Hours, like 20 plus scenes, you know, plus filming so they're in front of the camera, and that's why they get a scene and they have to learn it quickly. I'm like, they can whomp anyone, because it's like, man, I did this for 100 hours, and it's like, yeah, it's in me now, it's automatic. It's like riding a bike, I can just do it. Youngest, I had a school, and I taught 10-year-olds, and the stuff that I teach, I don't teach kids.
Okay. Why? Because you feel like
look, I will be able to, like with the online stuff, I will be able to, because it's 5 measurement tools. They're non-judgmental. You just tick a box. Yeah. So you notice what you're doing, opposed to what does the character, all that sort of velvety stuff, palaver. You know, so many. You must. I remember being on say you must impinge the character. Do you know what I mean? Impinge.
Emote.
And you're like, how do you do that? And so, oh, that's right. You don't actually do it. No. Okay, not even an actor. You've never actually had to learn lines for an audition. You don't know what I'm going through right now, and the pressure and the stress, and I'm thinking about the future and the past, and fuck him. So many friggin' acting is the only sport on earth that's taught by people who don't do it. Yeah.
That's like high school, man. You go into high school and you got a teacher there who's just picked up the book of whatever the fuck it is. It's like, here.
Looking at the answer in the back.
Yeah, you're the science teacher today. What? Like,
Yeah. See, that's a real issue. I mean, I know when I was young, I was like, I had a lot of out there concepts like, I don't think it's fair that, I'm being very passionate, I don't think it's fair that men can't have babies. Like, I want to be pregnant and have a kid. I think it'd be incredible.
Actually, you can do that now.
I'm not doing it. Fuck that shit.
I'm not doing it.
I've matured. I stopped smoking weed. Yeah. No. Childbirth. Hats off to you, ladies.
I'm sad that I haven't seen you in that stoner surfy phase, man, like long hair and shit.
Yeah, oh, bro. As soon as a roll comes in, I'm going to pop around. Oh, hey, man, what's going on?
I just want to see that look, dude.
Who is that guy? Yeah.
All right, man. That's weird. Like, I didn't know that there were I didn't realize that there were those many layers, man. Like, to everything that you do, it's just this culmination of like your life experience and what you've done and all this shit. And you've really, like I said, man, you've come back to this life coach sort of shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's impressive, man. It's nice to know that you've gone in through the system, come out, and you're actually a better person for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wow. Wouldn't wish that on anyone. It was horrible. But yes, in hindsight, I guess it was the best thing that happened to me. But geez, it was horrible, man.
Dude,
couldn't sleep at night.
There's 1,000 ways it could have gone, man.
Yeah. And you know, I had bad thoughts, and like I said, I thought about running away, and wouldn't say suicidal, but yeah, definitely I had thoughts.
Yeah.
That were just like, I wonder if and then I started going, whoa, bro. And of course, when I understood what it was to be a homeless person, because I was in my head, I was like, I might just go do that. And I'd see these guys on the street, and I can see how easily that can happen. Because here's the thing, you know, like famous people, if you will. Man, you just do this and this and this. It's really easy when everything's going great to look good, to dress well, to take time, to have manners, to be polite, to get enough sleep, to do everything right. When you're on top, it's much easier. When you're down low, your reactiveness for fight or flight response is just through the roof. And so you're just burning shit down. People trying to help you, like, fuck off. Like, you can't see it because you're so down and out. And so what do? You reach for pleasure. Sex, booze, drugs. And I think that's really sad. And so, yeah, if I can show people some stuff, getting in the cold water, man, for 30 or 40 minutes in the middle of winter, tell you what, your brain cannot think about the future or the past.
Have you got a blog anywhere or a book? Like a blog material?
Yes, I've written something. Yeah.
You should get it up and out.
Yeah.
I reckon there'd be people in the market looking to publish that sort of stuff for you, man.
Yeah, look, I've got a lot of, and I've always known all this stuff as well, to be honest. You know, people are like, you need to do something in your life, and I'm like, no, I'm cruising along, like, but I know where I'm headed. But I do need to pull my finger out. You know, when I lost my dad last year, it's like, and looking after mum, my mojo just went, ugh.
Yeah.
Because life just became something else, and I found myself sitting around for, you know, I started doing an hour of power. I was doing 5 hours of power. I was getting up early and just doing exercises to get me to stop, you know, thinking, essentially.
It's what happens, man. Like, when I was looking after my mum, she went through a thing, you know, about 2 years ago, man, and for at least 8 months, there's nothing else going on. Like, that's what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're put in that situation, everything else gets muted.
It's really, it's unbelievable. Like, even my sex drive vanished. Like, I wasn't even jerking off.
And dear God.
Yes, dear God, you're a man.
You need to speak to someone.
Yes. But, you know, that's concerning for you at a time when you go, I don't feel sexy. I don't feel like picking up people. I don't feel like jerking off.
No, I'm just not there. Yeah.
Like, you're like, wow, man, you've you know, it's like a dog that's been clipped. And so you really feel this energy that you lose when you lose libido, and people lose libido for life. And I'm saying, you know what? There's other ways to get it back, and it's faster and healthier, and you don't need to do those things.
The idea of losing libido for life.
Yeah.
You've lost. But dude,
it happens with people all the time. I mean, I'm sure it must have happened for you through your life. You know, there's times where you're just like, I've got nothing in the tank, I'm done, I'm emotionally bankrupt, or I'm so hurt by XYZ. The stories that we tell ourselves, the people we hang around with, the books we read, really does shape that.
Dude, passion is key to everything as far as I'm concerned, man. Like, if you lose passion for shit, you're done. If you don't have anything that you might have the most boring, mundane job in the world, but if you have something that you're passionate about, in the sideline, the pipe, anything, it's enough to keep you going, man.
Yeah.
Because you're building everything up around it, and it's fine. You know, you've got your escape. You've got your thing you're driving towards.
Well, isn't life a bit odd? Like, you know, we're born here, and when you're a child, you're like, you need to do this and this and this and think about this. And then as you get older, you go, those guys didn't know what they were doing. Yeah. And what made them feel better was telling other people what they should do.
Yeah.
A little bit.
No shit.
Because let's face it, we all, okay, cool, I got a job now, okay, I can pay, I've got shelter.
Yeah.
I can buy food. And isn't it funny how we hunt now? We get a basket, we put it in our arm. Chicken, ham, salami. What animal does salami come from? You know, we've got all our veggies and all our animals and, you know, the fresh eggs from the, it's all there and it's so convenient. I don't even have to leave my building. I go to level 1 and pop out. Like, it's such a wank. So yeah, I mean, it's just wow.
We've basically built up this world of convenience where we've shortcutted everything.
Yeah.
So everything's at our fingertips. Anything, man. Booze, sex, friendship. Like, you know, you don't need to physically go see Greg anymore. You just text him and you've supplemented that friendship. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, texted him. He's fine.
The human connect has got,
so then
we're going cyborg.
What are we doing with all this, like, saved time? Jack shit.
Yeah. Well, everyone's still so busy, aren't they?
Yeah. But with nothing.
I'm so busy. You couldn't write back to me. Oh, I'm just so flat out. You're an influencer. All right, you don't do it. You live with your parents.
Back to the influencer.
You get some product, and then you dress up. Like, you get dressed anyway. And then you take a photo with it, and you write something. And, oh my God, I love this product so
really
much.
burnt,
It's incredible. Well, here's the thing. I promoted a lot of stuff. I had a column when I was on Home and Away in Clio magazine. I wasn't writing it.
Really?
I started out writing it, but I was such a slow typer. They didn't have dictate then, because I'd never used a computer before. I was such a slow typer that I was like, guys, I'm just so busy, I can't get into you. So I'd start calling them saying, oh, can you say this stuff? And they started and I'd read it and go, what the hell? It sounds like a woman's talking. It was, because she was writing it. And I just started going, okay, well, that's fake. And then I'm wearing this fancy suit. Well, you borrow it. So that's fake. And then you've got to return it.
How long did that column go for?
What's that?
That column, how long did it go for?
Oh, it was only a few months.
Okay. How many of the publications would you say were from your hands or from someone else?
Oh, look,
like 50-50?
Let's say there was 7, maybe, or, you know, 5 publications, and yeah, I mean, I did 50%.
Could you pull the pin on it whenever you wanted?
Well, I think that's what happened in the end. I was like, guys, I'm just too busy.
Okay.
It was mainly because I saw the way they were writing, and I was like, yeah, look, I can write well, but it just takes me a long time.
Yeah.
I was quite proud, actually. I did an article, and they said, advice for girls. And I was like,
oh my God, here we go.
Yeah, wait for it. Girls in relationships. And I'm like, girls, can you imagine eating the same cereal every day? This is my advice. Try all the cereals. Try all of them. Every single cereal you can get your hands on, you should try it.
Throw in a deli small good as well every now and then, and be Kransky.
Absolutely. And then
for breakfast.
And then the whole idea is that, you know, in relationships, or with cereal, you see, when I grew up as a kid, Mum got us every single cereal. So I'd be like, in the morning, I'd be like, okay, what do I want? Eeny, meeny, miny, just to work out. And then I'd go, oh, it's that one. And I go, actually, no, I want this one. You know, that's how I'd work it out. But this concept of relationships, of saying to girls, because back then it wasn't really, I was like, sleep around. Have fun. You know, this concept of girls can't sleep around. It's like, girls should. Because then you're going to know what you want. Yeah. And when you do get married, you're not going to be like, oh, if only I tried Fruit Loops. If only I tried, you know, Honey Crunch. And you should. And then when you do move on, I mean, I'm probably offending so many people. Actually, we have sex when we get married. And I go, cool. Guess what? As an animal, we weren't doing that. Yeah. That's a man-made construct.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's nothing wrong with man-made constructs, but I prefer to trust nature. Mother Nature has been around for a lot longer than all of it.
Dude, how many
there's many lessons.
How many man-made social constructs can you actually say are positive things? Because remember, racism is a man-made construct.
Yes.
Okay?
Well, yeah, I mean, children don't care about that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, it's like they share
telling people not to be prejudiced, that's the reverse of a man-made construct. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, I just think it's so back to front.
That's what I'm saying.
From schooling to business to government. It's like, I don't follow all that stuff, I think, because I'd probably want to do something about it. But, you know, for me, like, we spend $1 trillion on war. but then we can't help out our acting industry.
Oh, dude.
To make films, or we can't get the homeless people off the street, or we can't help people to stop. Like, even my big one at the moment is, mum's had a counsellor, lost dad, 44 years of marriage, and after all this time, she hasn't got better, she's got worse. And what do they give her? Painkillers.
Oh, yeah.
And what are painkillers? What's the base of it? It's opiate.
Yeah.
It's heroin.
It's all
heroin. And so it's addictive. And so she takes it. It doesn't fix the problem.
No, it's a mask.
It masks
Yeah, it's a
the
mask.
problem. And this is okay. There's not a problem with that. How is that not illegal when there's stuff out there that does fix it?
Because it makes money.
Exactly. I mean, they've got trials now, St. Vincent's the hospital, using magic mushrooms.
Yeah.
My mum could take magic mushrooms. They grow on the ground. And they're saying when people have a big dose, they're cured from depression and everything for 6 months to a year. Like one or two doses.
It's like 1 or 2. Yeah,
Or the latest thing now is microdosing. And it's like, it's not harmful on the brain or the body. It comes from nature. All this stuff. But you're right. We've got to make money. But there's still this mass collective, and I'm really hoping that internet and the youth of tomorrow aren't maybe watching too much TV and doing a lot of that stuff, so that we're not, that doesn't continue.
It's just crazy now that, like, you draw up the comparison, how I said before, with the fake book and Insta-Lie, and all the commercials out there are set to, put you in this negative state of mind and how you're going to fix yourself. That's like, say, Australia. Then you look at the contrast in America. Every second ad is a pharmaceutical company, man. Are you suffering from depression? Blah, 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 blah. Now try Xanax. And everything is just drugs, man. Like,
totally. $1 billion, $1 trillion industry.
Here, but in America, they pump the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
It's insane. So then look at all their mass shootings and look at the mass racism and just the prone... violent.
But it's still been run by the guys up the top.
Yeah.
It's all design. It's all by design. And that's, I'm like, can we not see through this? Like, it is a bit nuts.
Shouldn't have we seen through it like a long time ago by now?
I think everyone has, surely. But they're just...
What's the hold up?
I know.
Is it just...
It's maybe we're not talking about it. I don't know.
Is it because the influencers aren't talking about it?
You know what I found interesting? I haven't voted before. And I know I should, and I'm going to go to prison.
Are you registered to vote?
Apparently. I've just moved house so much, I was always like, oh, man, I missed it. Like, I don't know, can I just do it online?
What electorate am I in? I have no idea.
Like, make it easy for me. You don't have to spend all that money to... I think there was like the gay thing, and they did a vote.
Yeah, the plebiscite.
How much did that cost Australia?
Yeah, it was like 20 mil. Some stupid...
$20 million. Can you imagine what they'd do to our film industry, to homeless people?
Yeah, we brought it up.
It's there's so much of that stuff. And what always got on my nerves was I'm at school and they're saying, you need to save money, you need to do this. And I'm like, but then the people that are running the country are $1 trillion in debt. Like in debt. The country is in debt.
Yeah.
Any business on earth that is in debt, you go bankrupt. They take your company away from you and they take your house and your car. But then the people that are running are doing that, and maybe I'm ignorant because I haven't done all the research, but I'm just, as a dumb person, just as a child, looking at the very rough, naive version of what's going on, I'm just like, this is insane.
When you whittle it down, when you whittle all the system, democracy in this country, right, and the politics, everything, when you whittle the system down to its bare basics and you look at it through the naive eyes of a child, it's like, this is A, this is B, we get C. Everything is just, what the fuck? Like, that makes no sense. Why are we doing this? Oh, you don't understand.
Well, in
understand.
accounting, they call it an asset. A car and a house is an asset.
Yeah.
But you're paying it off.
No, liabilities.
That's a liability. But you're taught by the system that that's actually called an asset.
Get a house, get a car, get a mortgage.
Yeah, because they should. And then you speak to someone who's actually successful in that area, and they go, no, that's dumb. Why would you buy liabilities? You want to buy assets that pay you.
You want to get a house, you want to get a car, you want to develop a credit rating, you want to get equity, so then you can further invest. So when do I stop working?
Well, I've had people say, I don't want to get a positive gearing place because it pays you.
You would be gainfully employed.
Because of tax.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, you don't want to buy something that you don't have to do any work on that actually pays you, and it mightn't be much. It might be $25 a week after all the bills and council rates. But it's like, we've been taught that, no, you need to stress the fuck out. You need to be stuck in a job that you hate, and you're doing it because you're just trying to keep up. And it is, we're told that by our parents, everyone's telling us to do it, and then we do it. And then we're suddenly like, man, I can't keep up with this mortgage. I'm not living anymore. I'm not enjoying my life. We lose our hair. What do? I need pleasure. So what do? We reach for something. And then the vicious cycle of sports bet, and then it begins.
That's the other ads. Sports bet, gambling, and lottery.
Terrible
That
stuff.
Is literally TV, man.
As far as I'm concerned, that stuff is so bad. You see, my parents loved to gamble.
Yeah.
Is
that a cultural thing or just your parents?
I think it was just Africa. They had 6-star hotels. So, it was so, the casinos over there were really, really fun.
Yeah.
But then, to see that and to work in gaming lounges, and I see these pensioners coming in there and they're spending their... now, I'm emptying the machines and I'm pulling 10 grand out of a few pokies.
5-6 people for the last 6 hours.
Yeah, there's not even that many machines in there, You're talking, your 20 to 30 machines and different... I worked at 2 different venues like that, and it's sad. It just amazes me how it's like, Paul, you can't say that. And it's like, wait a minute. But what about the shit that's actually dangerous? Because that shit isn't dangerous. That's just having a chat. Trying to be funny. But when it's dangerous and people are getting hurt and nothing's changing, and it's like, you need to vote. And I'm like, yeah, but you guys, I don't follow it, but all I know is that there was some guy running the country and then some chick came in and then they're kicking each other out of their own. They don't know about team. That's really concerning. The people that are running it, if they're not... you can watch telly and you see them having those debates.
Yeah.
And they're yelling out, and to me, that is terrifying. That is just like, how is that an example for manners? Or politeness? One
of the saddest things was when I was overseas, one of the last times I'd gone, I think it was when I went to Europe, and all my relatives were laughing at me like, so who's the Prime Minister of Australia? I'm like, I got no idea, man.
Okay, right.
I got no idea.
Uh-huh.
Because we just changed leaders so many times without our control.
Yeah.
It was just leadership spills and...
Yeah. And for me, it's stuff like that. It's like, well, even if I do vote, I need to do all the research, but I'm like, what are they actually going to do?
What's changing?
And then it's like, we'll tell you what we're going to do, but then when we get voted in, then we're not going to do it. I don't know.
You lie.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. So for me,
they're political lies. I just
stepped away, and I know that everyone can't just step away from it. But wouldn't it be nice if they did? Just to step away from TV, to step away from social media, to step away from voting. And just to everyone to just hang out and just have a moment to be still. And then hopefully the mass collective goes, wait a minute. We've got some ideas here. We could be doing some really cool stuff.
I'd love to see what's in other cultures, man, how far steep they are in, say, reality TV and advertising, all this sort of shit. Like the States is...
Well, you know what I mean? Charts. Indonesia, Jakarta right now, they're getting right into Nirvana and Pearl Jam. And it's great. You're over there and on the radio, you're sitting in a restaurant, you get Nirvana playing. I was like, dude, it's full on. It's full on. And I'm like, seeing people with Nirvana shirts, and I'm like, you guys Nirvana? And they're like, yeah, Nirvana, man. And I'm like, wow. That was probably like us, with American stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure Green Day was, probably a year or two later, and then we're like, oh man, Green Day.
I'd love to hear Silverchair again.
Oh,
Frog Stomp just comes back on the radio.
Gold.
Do you reckon grunge is going to make a comeback, like a big comeback?
How could it not, right? Well, here's the thing. It is big somewhere.
Actually, you know what? How can it not? You're right. Because right now we're living in that excess again. You've got all the rappers, even the pop artists are all urban or like big bling sort of over-the-top characters. It's going to crash.
Yeah.
And grunge will be back in.
Well, all I know is that there's Earth, and then something penetrates it, and it grows, and then we go like, oh my god, look at that, and then it withers away and it dies, and something grows, uses that energy to grow from it.
Yeah.
And it's this lovely...
Yeah, the cycle doesn't stop.
The cycle doesn't stop. Like, we're going to wear flares again, surely. That'll happen.
I'm waiting for the big, the jackets from the 80s with the shoulder pads, man.
Oh, wow. We're going to go next level. I've got a prediction that in the future, we're going to wear clothes that look more like outfits. Like, it's the same colour shoes, pants, and top.
Is it completely colour coordinated?
Yeah, but like all blue, and you're wearing all red. And, it's just a little bit more like firm fitting, but it also dries you, but it's also warm and cold.
So like a unitard.
Sure. Like a onesie. We're all going to be wearing these onesies.
So you look like the Martians are coming with the V-neck and the boots, but everyone's going to have their own colour.
It's bound to happen for a while. And people go, why would you wear it? Look where activewear's going. You picked me up from South Yarra.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a thing, man. It's already happening. You know, people wear activewear and they don't get active.
Yeah. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Man.
Yeah, and I think as technology steps up, though, people go, those shoes are a bit out there. And it's like, yeah, because they do this, you know, and it's like
Bluetooth.
Yeah, why are you wearing that onesie? That's stupid. It's like because it does this, and you're like, oh, I might try one of those.
That's all they need. That's all you need. It's got you can put your Spotify playlist straight into the the pockets, you know.
Yeah,
it just strings into your thumb.
We're already cyborg, really, but we're just going to become more cyborg.
Yeah,
it's like, oh man, my hip's out. We'll just put a new hip in there. Boom. My heart's. Yeah. I worked with a director. Did a film, this rom-com. Hopefully it comes out. Actually, it was John Jarrett played my dad.
Oh,
and then that sex allegation came up. So 2018.
Okay, so
I think we did it. Yeah. It was due to come out 2018, maybe something like that.
Okay.
So there's a director in LA, and he was saying, I've actually got a heart. My heart I've had a new heart made.
What, like a 3D printed heart?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he goes, it's only 120,000.
What?
And so when his heart goes pop, it's already ready to go.
Wow. Do you reckon you could feel it? As in, if you get, like, say, a 3D heart or a pig's heart put in here, do you reckon you could notice the difference? As in, this or like,
it's a good question.
Have you ever had a cast?
It's almost like back to chakras.
No, like, I mean, if you get an appendage, man, like whatever it is, if you put a watch on, if you put, you got a cast on your foot, anything's different, you physically notice it straight away. You get a steel pin put in your hand. You'll notice it. You get a feeling put in your mouth. You'll feel it around until your brain sort of says, hey, let's just acclimatise to this new sensation, whatever the hell it is. Do you reckon you could feel an implanted heart?
Wow. It's a good question. Because, I mean, a lot of people, there's a lot of energy that comes around this concept of the heart. I mean, essentially it's
the lifeblood, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that did go, that did go pop.
Just like...
Something happened. I mean, how does that even work, right? Like, mind-blowing. The point is, I've got a feeling that we're going to live to 130. And in my head, I was like, man, 86, I'm going to start, I'm back on the bongs. I won't smoke bongs, I'll smoke joints, I reckon. I'm going to play guitar, and then when I get really old, then I'm going to just try heroin.
130?
Or poppy or some shit. But now I'm like, wait a minute. Because if we can replace things that clap out, I mean, the only reason is because the heart starts clapping out, although, there's things that start
then your brain goes as well.
Yeah, but you know what? Your brain doesn't have to go. And that's why they're doing... put it this way.
Okay, here we go.
There was a monkey, right?
Of course it was.
Roaming the earth. And then it went... and it picked up a mushroom. And it ate it.
Okay.
And we call them magic mushrooms now.
Yeah.
And it saw outside of its reality. It saw the spirit world, if you will. People that take DMT, it's the ayahuasca bush, which
it's a psychosis, man.
Yeah, but because of that, they saw out of themselves. What they've used now, like with mushrooms, there's an intelligence to them. It's the largest organism on Earth is a mushroom. It's like 300 kilometers big under the earth. And it has this intelligence, and what they did in Japan was they used it to actually work out their subways and the most efficient way to run their subways.
Really?
Yeah. What it's doing is it's connecting people's brains because it's making them, it just connects more neurons. The brain lights up when you're taking these hallucinogens. And so what they're doing is there's actually a trial at St. Vincent's Hospital at the moment with this lady, Melissa Warner. I got to meet her at a seminar. And what they're using it for is for people with these things. Because, what they're finding is that their cognitive stuff is coming back. And I think that's really fascinating. But they've always been there, and people that have, been using these things for thousands of years, they're like, yeah, man.
Yeah, it works.
But then what happened was we came in, Do you know they actually tried LSD with soldiers, and they cancelled it because there was a guy who climbed a tree and was feeding a bird, and they're going, well, these aren't the worker ants that we need, so LSD is the devil. Get rid of it. And meanwhile, the Beatles are like making the music that is. Everyone's like, their music's so good. It's like, you know, LSD, man.
Shit. They created phasing. You know the effect phase. You got flange. Ooh. The flange effect. Yeah.
Right. I don't know where I come from. A flange is something else.
I know. Yeah. I know where you went, dude. The flange effect was created because Paul McCartney and John Lennon were fucked on LSD, and you get the effect by playing two signals of the same thing slightly ajar, you know, slightly delayed. So you get that sort of yeah. They were fucked when they created it.
Okay,
dude, the flange effect is huge.
iPhone, Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
actually he wasn't the technical guy, but apparently he gave out instructions on how to microdose.
Really?
LSD.
Okay.
At his funeral.
Really?
At his funeral, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what he contributes, his being able to think bigger.
Yeah.
Because it's all it's doing is connecting more brain neurons.
Look,
and
the brain,
so people can see outside of their situation.
We've only figured out a certain percentage of the brain, man. Like, we haven't and then you get these freaks, either these, you know, virtuoso musicians or these artists or these thinkers, you know, that come out of nowhere. It's like, well, how can they tap into that thing? Well, something's clicking somewhere.
Yeah, they ate a friggin' mushroom or they drank some tea. Like, unfortunately, I mean, if you delve deeper into some of this stuff, I saw this big picture of Jesus, and then people are going, this photo's from like way back, and you see these pictures behind it of these big ass mushrooms.
Yeah,
and they're like, what? The Holy Grail is actually a magic mushroom that is shaped in a cup.
Wait, okay, is this your theory?
Oh, no. There's so much research on this. Check it out.
I've read into all this sort of shit. I've never heard that one.
Yeah, check it out, man.
The Holy Grail is actually a mushroom.
A magic mushroom. Because when you eat it, you see God. You see the spirit world. And so the pulmonary gland, and so DMT, when people smoke DMT, which is basically bark and leaves and shit.
Yeah. It's just bark, dude.
That's right, it's bark. It's been done for thousands of years.
Yeah, it's bark.
Thousands of years. But you can smoke as much as you want, but it's the strongest hallucinogen on earth.
Yeah.
So DMT is a drug that naturally occurs in your body, lots of plants and animals. It's everywhere. The body, it breaks it down very quickly. And so what happens is that I believe it's the pulmonary gland that releases it.
Your third eye. Yeah.
Your third eye. That's right. And so you see the spirit world. See, what I love about some of these breathing patterns, so the hypertropic breathing, because of how you're breathing, you actually create your brain to release DMT. So, I mean, a few weeks back, and like I said, not a religious guy, but because I was so broken, I saw God for the first time. And now I'm more spiritual, and losing my dad, I actually saw stuff that is so profound. And so I think that some of these things can really help people with dealing with death and all these other things. But by doing the hypertropic breathing, you're actually releasing DMT, and that's where you see stuff. And so a few weeks ago, I did this breathing round. So I get cold and I go sit in the cold and I do these 3 rounds. And I saw this on the 3rd round, when the DMT has been released, I saw this round eyeball and I saw Jesus on a cross like this.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. And it's like... You're like, what? Today I did a longer breathing session. I had my eyes closed and it's blue. You can see the sky. You think your eyes are open.
Okay, how long do these sessions usually take?
So I do this with my students, and usually about 5 to 10 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll totally change the way that you feel. You're going to peak adrenaline, and then when you walk out into your day, your brain goes, not dangerous. I've already peaked adrenaline. That's not dangerous. So you become zen, you become focused. The military, they use anti-anxiety breathing, which is box breathing. I mean, military, martial artists, military dancers, this is going way back, by the way. This is old information. They've been doing this stuff for a very long time. Breath is known as spirit.
Yeah.
God, if you will. What makes you breathe? Well, I don't know. Something. I'm sick of this life. Something makes me breathe. Something keeps me alive. So I love this concept of, if I can breathe in a certain way, I can have a chemical that's released that's called the spirit molecule, and I can see some weird, really crazy stuff and not do drugs.
Jesus, it's like creating like serotonin and all that sort of shit, but naturally.
Yeah, big time.
Forcing your body to do it naturally as opposed to boosting serotonin, like, say, with fucking drugs or whatever.
Yeah, drugs are scary, especially the pharmaceutical ones. Do you know if you put your hands up like this for 2 minutes, this according to Amy Cuddy, it's a TED Talk, that your brain will release testosterone in 2 minutes. If I curl up and be small with my body, like we are when every human on Earth is upset.
Yeah, fetal position.
Yeah, you'll create cortisol in 2 minutes. It's a chemical. So you change your body language. You change the chemicals in your brain, which change the way you feel.
Okay, this is all news to me.
Well, this is when I learned that. That's when I reinvented the teaching paradigm for acting. Because I was like, wait a minute. And so I've spent the last 7 years, to be honest, doing that. And people are like, when are you going to launch this? I'm like, I've got to get it right. I've got to make sure it works for everyone. And I think I'm there.
That is huge, dude. If you don't get this off the ground by 2020, I'm going to crack the shit.
It's like, honestly, this is what gets me up in the morning and keeps me going, and you know what I love doing, yeah.
That's awesome. All right, dude, I think we have to wrap.
Awesome.
It's rather late.
Yeah, it's tomorrow already.
How long do you reckon we'll go for?
I reckon we're going for 2 hours and 34 minutes.
2 hours, 51 minutes, 70 seconds.
Damn, look at us go. Thanks for having me, man. It's been awesome.
Hold up.